Greetings everyone, Jake Bernstein, Weekly Capital Markets Report, Trading Lesson, Sunday, November the 25th, 2018. Thanks for being here. The time in Santa Cruz, California is 8:31 a.m. By now, I think you've had a chance to see my year-end sales special prices. Take advantage of them. They won't last long, and they're the best and lowest prices I've given in 46 years. Your best bet? 3 years of everything. So, it's useless for me to come here every week and give you a lesson or just talk about my methods unless you learn something. It's useless for you to come here and spend your good time and your good money seeing my analyses and my signals unless they help you make money and unless you learn something. So the object of these lessons is to give you information that you can use. Let's take on a favorite topic, a lesson that I learned many times over until I finally learned it once and for all. The lessons that I've learned have served me well. They help me avoid making mistakes. I still make mistakes, but rarely. Let's take the common problem of time frames. Knowing what time frame in which to trade and how to use the time frames correctly. Some of my colleagues or competitors in this business will tell you, in order to make a decision on a daily basis or intraday basis, you need to know everything that's happening in the big picture. You need to know the long-term trend, the intermediate-term trend, the seasonal trend, and then the daily trend and the intraday trend, and then you can make a decision on a 5-minute chart. I find that to be absolutely useless. Not only useless, but counterproductive, in fact, dead wrong. The bottom line for me is this. Determine the time frame in which you want to trade. Long-term, intermediate-term, short-term, or day trade. You can do them all, you can do some of them. But the way you combine them is the most important thing. Example. Here is a daily S&P chart. The chart is clear and showing a moving average channel, daily sell signal, 2 bars below the bottom of the channel, and a trigger right over here. The market then turned higher into resistance and came back down and achieved all of its profit targets on the channel. The chart shows, as I told you in the report, on the 26th of November, of October, there was a seasonal buy date, which was 1 day off the low, and achieved all of its targets plus more over the next few days. The trend remained down on the daily chart, moving average channel, and gave us a 2-bar CMC sell setup and trigger. Currently, the trend remains down. Excuse me. In terms of the seasonals, the trend is the other way. The ideal seasonal over the last 80 years has been very bullish. So you have to make a decision. Do you want to follow the short-term trend down? Do you want to sell at resistance? Or do you want to buck the 80% odds of higher prices? Or do you want to do both? The simple approach is to make a decision and trade within the time frame that you determine. However, let's go to the monthly chart. Looking at the monthly chart, which I'm going to bring up shortly for you, you can clearly see this is a long-term, big, beautiful bull market. You may say, yes, there's a bearish divergence. That bearish divergence being right over here. New high in price. Let me mark it for you. Without a new high in momentum, and that bearish divergence could very well trigger by the end of the month if we close below this level on momentum. We have a few days left for that to develop or not. So the bottom line is this. If you're an investor, you see opportunity at the bottom of the channel. The stop on this trade, buying the bottom of the channel, would be twice the width of the channel, which would be a substantial stop. So what can you do with this information? You can say, because we are at monthly support, I will go to the weekly chart and see if there's a buying opportunity for me there. The weekly chart shows a downtrend in existence. That downtrend happening right over here. 2 bars below the bottom of the channel, and at the bottom of the chart, Williams below its moving average. So you say, well, I'm not ready to buy the long term, I'm not ready to buy the intermediate term. This is the daily chart. You can make a decision for the longer term buying at support based on the daily chart. If the daily chart turns bullish here, that will be an indication that long-term support is held and that you have an investment opportunity based on monthly chart. It's that simple and it's that complicated. You use the daily chart to time your entry into the monthly, which is at long-term support. Very, very simple. Don't make the mistake of turning this monthly trade into a daily trade and take profits off the table unless you have multiple positions, which you can do. Take some off the table to protect yourself, put in a stop at break even, and let it go. Now, you might say, well, why don't we just drill down to the intraday, the 5-minute and the 10-minute, and the half-hour and the 15-minute? Don't do that, it will drive you crazy. If you're a day trader, you're using the intraday charts and you're getting out by the end of the day. If you're a short-term trader trading 3 to 5 days, trade the 3 to 6 hour charts. Make your decisions on that basis. But remember, the most important thing is don't mix all the time frames to make a decision on one time frame. If you want to make a decision for the longer term time frame about the shorter term, in other words, fine-tuning your entry into the longer term, using the shorter term, that's good. But don't do it the other way around. In other words, don't say, I have a 15-minute breakout trade on the long side today. Let's see what the intermediate term trend is doing. Oh, intermediate term trend is down. I won't take the 15-minute buy trade. Don't do it that way. Do it the other way. In other words, don't do it backwards. That's my advice. Think about it. If you have any questions, I'm Jake at trade-futures.com. Sorry for the voice. It's fading away due to the smoke here, but it's getting better. Thanks again, and take advantage of my year-end sale. The prices are very low. Lock them in. The sale ends on December the 10th. No exceptions. Thanks again. Best of trading to you.